What's up, USHL fans, and welcome to Week 6 of the U Show, where we take a look at everything that happened around the league this past weekend. There were a lot of incredible highlights from the weekend of October 24th and 25th, so let's get right into it with our look around the league. First up, the Muskegon Lumberjacks were on the road at Waterloo, a rematch of last year's Clark Cup final, and the Muskegon Lumberjacks swept both games on the road in Partytown, USA. The Des Moines Buccaneers swept the NTDP 17s, and the Madison Capitals and Dubuque Fighting Saints split a home-and-home. Both games were 6-3 wins for the home team, which means that the Fighting Saints are still undefeated on home ice with a perfect 5-0-0 record, although one of those wins was a win in Pittsburgh, but we still do count it as the perfect home ice record. Speaking of Dubuque, some of the individual performances from this past weekend, we had a beautiful goal from Teddy Merrill, a guy who is known for his strong hustle plays. He has 9 goals in 10 games to start the year. Another player, James Scantlebury, with a game-winning goal on Friday. The Chicago tender Boston University commit is second behind David Bosco of Cedar Rapids in rookie scoring. He has 3 goals and 8 assists thus far. And Trey Jeffress of the Sioux City Musketeers, he had 2 shorthanded goals on the same penalty in the third period Saturday. You rarely see that. So a couple of looks here at some of the nice highlights from this past weekend.
Left to right, Merrill right on his back, ties him up, the pass back toward Merrill. He has a shorthanded breakaway into the offensive zone. They're chasing the shot, he scores! A shorthanded goal for the captain, and the Fighting Saints take the lead. 2-1 Dubuque.
They're by it. Scantlebury, Crowder throwing it to the front. Scantlebury tucking it in to the forehand. James Scantlebury.
It back, gives it off left side now. Harrick, here comes Trey Jeffress. A breakaway short-handed shot and a goal! Trey Jeffress! Again, here comes Luke Gary. He's got Jeffress with him. Looking out. Pass across, shot, a goal! Back-to-back short-handed goals by Trey Jeffress.
Now let's get into our 3 stars of the week. And like we normally do, we will start up front with our forward of the week, which was Carson Pilgrim, a North Dakota commit who extended his point streak to 5 games by notching a goal and an assist in each of Tri-City's games on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They had 3 games this weekend, and Pilgrim was able to contribute in all 3. He helped the Storm defeat the Stars 4-3 on Saturday with a shorthanded game-winning goal and finished the weekend with 9 shots and a +4 rating. Pilgrim's 6 points were the most among all skaters in the entire league.
Circle back in the net, trying to wrap around. They score! Short-handed goal!
Now let's shift back to the blue line where we have our defenseman of the week, Keaton Orrey of the Des Moines Buccaneers and Miami, Ohio commit. He helped the Bucs sweep the USNTDP U17 team with game-winning goals in Des Moines' 4-3 win on Friday and 2-1 overtime win on Saturday. He finished the weekend with 5 shots on goal and a +2 rating and scored with 2 minutes and 43 left in regulation on Friday and 1 minute and 26 seconds into overtime on Saturday. So some clutch goal scoring from Keaton Orrey. I did catch up with Keaton Orrey on Monday, so you will see our conversation a little bit later in this week's episode. But before we get there, I do want to talk about our goalie of the week, Carl Axelson of the Muskegon Lumberjacks, committed to Minnesota Duluth. He helped the Lumberjacks to a weekend sweep in Waterloo with 2.00 goals against average. He led Muskegon to back-to-back 5-2 wins against the Blackhawks in that rematch of last year's Clark Cup final. Let's switch gears and talk about some of the USHL alumni that are playing in the NCAA right now. The top 10 scorers in college hockey all played in the USHL, led by Charlie Serrato and JJ Webush of Penn State University. We also want to highlight the United States Spengler Cup select roster, which is all college players, but there's been 10 players named so far, with a few that are USHL alumni, led by Charlie Serrato, Cole Knuble, Danny Nelson, Eric Poolkamp, Jake Livanovich, Alex Tracy, and Joey Muldowney. We also have one commitment that we want to highlight, and that is Sam Caulfield of the Chicago Steel, who announced that he will be committed to Colgate University. So we're super thrilled for Sam and his family and excited to see his career continue at Colgate University. I mentioned it before, but I did catch up with our defenseman of the week of the Des Moines Buccaneers, Keaton Orrey. So let's take a look at that interview right now. Very happy to be joined by this week's defenseman of the week from the Des Moines Buccaneers and Miami, Ohio commit, Keaton Orrey. Keaton, what's going on, man? Congrats on the big weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So off to a big start so far this season. Big weekend for you guys, especially. defenseman of the week, like I just mentioned, but how much has your confidence grown from year 1 to year 2, would you say, in Des Moines?
A lot. Last year I was kind of in and out. Confidence wasn't really there, but this year, the coaches, whole new change. So they gave me a chance, and, the confidence has just gone through the roof so far. And it feels great to be able to play with the confidence and play my game.
So every player in junior, I mean, most at least, go through the highs and lows. I'm curious, mentioning last year, what were the conversations like when things weren't really going your way versus what those conversations might be like now? A guy who comes into his second year, probably bigger responsibility, relied on more, just kind of curious what it's like between player and coach when things maybe aren't going the way you want them to.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing that I was told is just stick with it. Just put your head down and go to work. That's all you can do every day. I mean, you can control that every day, and if you do that, like, good things will come.
And as far as like things away from the rink, from what I've heard, again, this might be some sort of inside joke that I don't really know about, but what do you like to do away from the rink in Des Moines for fun? I heard you're a guy who likes to go hunting. Is that true?
Yeah, me, Gus Thorpe, and then Ryan Kroll actually went out yesterday. We went on yesterday morning.
I was told to ask you what you killed or what you shot.
Nothing.
Nothing. Zero.
We got nothing. No.
Nobody.
We shot at a couple ducks, but we missed them. They were pretty far away. But other than that, just enjoying the morning and had a couple laughs. But it was a good time, even though we didn't get anything.
Okay. Anything else you guys do away from the rink for fun, or just trying to find activities like that?
Yeah, I mean, me and my roommate Gus Thorpe like to hang out with our billets a lot. They're awesome. They're fun. So that's kind of our main thing we do.
Same billets as last year?
No, I changed this year.
Oh, wow. Okay. Any like particular reason or?
She quit billeting. So she was billet for 13, 14 years, I think. So she paid her time and then she called it quits, which is perfectly okay. So,
was it because of you?
I hope not. I mean, she took in 4 guys last year, so her house was pretty full. But, I mean, the billet change was good, and I'm really liking it this year.
All right, awesome to hear. So I got to ask about the numbers. We just talked about last year a little bit, but 6 points in 37 games last year, 4 points in 9 games this year.
Yep.
Things just clicking more offensively, or just playing more responsibility, like we said?
Yeah, I think just playing more. Guys around me, just working hard. That's kind of our motto this year is relentless. So guys are working day in and day out, and it shows.
And you spent a year in the North American League, right?
I did. Yep.
Closer to home too, probably.
Yeah, it was like an hour and a half away, so it was nice.
So that adjustment, from playing in the North American League, being close to home versus now, being in the USHL, I'm curious what that was like for you last year, just the difference between the two leagues and the setup away from the rink as well.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I noticed was the speed. It was fast. And, I was a senior in high school playing in the North American League. And obviously it's physical. The NAL it's a hard league to play in. But the main difference I noticed was the speed.
And on Elite Prospects right now, it says that you're going to school next year. Is that correct? Or
yeah.
plan to?
That's the plan, yep. So
I got a 2-parter for you. What excites you most about Miami? And which part of your game do you want to improve on the most before college?
So when I toured Miami, it was one of the most beautiful schools I've ever seen. Facilities are top notch, and they're in the NCHC, which personally I think is the best college division. But those things help me decide on Miami, and then also the coaching staff. Like they were amazing. They were so welcoming to have me there, and that helped with the decision.
And then which part of your game do you think you want to improve on the most this year?
I would say just being harder in the D zone, making sure pucks stay out of the net. That's the biggest thing. I mean, I'm a defenseman first, so that's the biggest thing.
Anything tactically that you've learned from the North American League to the USHL as far as like, I guess terminology or, one specific detail about playing defense in your own end?
You got to go back for pucks fast. Guys are coming. So if you go back, you can create time and space for yourself. And I think that's a big thing I learned from playing in the North American League.
Okay, so I want to ask you also about one of your teammates. I got to meet a few of you guys in Pittsburgh, but I'm always intrigued hearing from someone. I know you're 19 years old, so you're not like an older guy, but you're not a younger guy. But Rylan Rooney, 16-year-old player, obviously someone who's incredibly talented. But what's it like having a teammate who's 16? Like I kind of remember 10 years ago when I had one, but curious what that's like for you.
Honestly, it makes me feel old. But no, it's fun trying to kind of take them under your belt and kind of show them the ropes and everything like that. Especially for how young. Like we have two 16-year-olds, so it's good kind of showing them what they need to do, and they're both of them are extremely talented, so they're gonna do very well.
Would you say your group is a little bit more mature, or do you guys have a lot of young energy and whatnot?
We do have a lot of young guys this year, but it's kind of nice. They're excited, they're ready to work, so it's a good group.
And my last one for you, I appreciate your time.
Yep.
Keaton. What do you want fans to know about this year's Des Moines Buccaneers? Like, who's the funny guy? What's the team like in the room? I guess what's the attitude day to day? Anything stand out to you that you'd want fans to know?
Just how close we are as a team. I mean, we don't have cliques. Everybody's kind of one group, and it's nice because we all joke around together. We do things together, so it's really nice, and we're always kind of ready to work.
And what's that hat you're wearing?
Burlebo.
What's that?
It's an outdoor brand.
Okay.
Out of that Shields, thought it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. It is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's like a hunting brand. I'm honestly not too sure. I just liked it.
All right. Well, thanks, Keaton. I appreciate the time, and best of luck the rest of the way. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Great chatting with Keaton Orrey of the Des Moines Buccaneers. And now I want to take a second to talk about some more alumni who made their NHL debuts over the past few days. Dominic James was a Lincoln Star from 2019 to 2021 and spent 4 years at Minnesota Duluth before making his NHL debut with the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Marshall Warren of the NTDP from 2017 to 2019, who spent 4 years at Boston College and 1 year at Michigan before making his debut with the New York Islanders. A Long Island boy playing for the New York Islanders. A big congrats to Marshall Warren.
Here's a turnover, and it's Lee in the slot. Can't quite get it. Marshall Warren in front. They score! It's Duclair on the setup for Marshall Warren in his NHL debut.
Time to take a look at what's coming up this week in the USHL. The Dubuque Fighting Saints, like I mentioned earlier, are still the only undefeated team at home. They are hosting the Des Moines Buccaneers on Thursday and the Green Bay Gamblers on Saturday to try to keep their perfect record on home ice up to date. The Chicago Steel will be at the Youngstown Phantoms in Eastern Conference matchup. Chicago is 7-4-0-0, while Youngstown is 8-4-1-0 on the season. And then we have our live to social game on Flow Hockey, which will be Tri-City at the Omaha Lancers. Carson Pilgrim versus Thaddeus McMahon, a great matchup of young talent. Tri-City won on September 26th and October 17th, so Omaha is looking for revenge in their third meeting of the season. And I'll actually be in Omaha this weekend doing color commentary on both Omaha Lancers games as they take on the Lincoln Stars on Saturday and the Tri-City Storm on Sunday. That's going to wrap it up for week 6 of the U Show. As always, we're very pumped to see what week 7 has in store, and we will catch up with you next Monday.